Clemson Tigers, they're all in. How many major college football teams do you know that come out of the locker room fully dressed for battle, go through a full warm-up, full stretch, and then get back on the bus? It's just one of the many great traditions here at Clemson. We are ready to rock and roll. You're watching college football on ESPN, presented by Hampton by Hilton. Gus already got off of his bus. And Auburn's Tigers are in the house for this SEC ACC showdown. Number 13 Auburn, number 3 Clemson. We've got the potential for something special to happen here tonight. And the man in the middle of it all is our Todd McShay.
Usually this is the time, Steve, where we're going to do a player breakdown or look at the matchup to preview this game. But this scene is too special. I'm here on the top of the hill right now, touching Howard's Rock. You see right now the entire team is coming in. This is the tradition. It's a wild moment. Enjoy. The Tigers are in the house.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Taco Bell in a $5 steak quesarito box and Madden NFL 18. This is the year. In stores now, rated E for everyone.
Glorious Saturday night, 75 degrees, still sunny, Death Valley, South Carolina, as we anticipate something special happening here tonight. Speaking of sunny, with our sunny disposition, we welcome you into the broadcast booth. Say hi once again to Brian Greasy. I'm Steve Levy. No place else we would rather be. We're going to get a chance to see the defending national champions.
You can't say defending. Dabo would not be happy.
Dabo hates that. Defending is passive. They're the attacking national champions. And there's no Deshaun Watson to lean on anymore. He was on the sideline last week. He's got other things to worry about tonight.
It's going to be Kelly Bryant's game. And certainly last week, an outstanding performance. But it was a preseason game, let's be honest. They played Kent State. He's going to go against an outstanding front for Auburn tonight. He's going to need to play his best game for Clemson to win.
Clemson has won the toss and deferred. Auburn will receive. Devin Barrett and Javarius Davis are back to receive. Auburn in the white off a shellacking 41-7 win over Georgia Southern. Ball is on a tee at the 35. Let's get crazy here tonight in Clemson. Matchup that had a whole lot of people buzzing all week long, and then some. Davis will take a knee in the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25-yard line, and We're going to find some tonight about Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, you know, Steve, you think about Jarrett Stidham, it's been a long 2-year road almost for him coming from Baylor, well documented his transfer. The thing that jumps out to me, 12 months ago, Steve, he was a volunteer quarterback at a local high school in Waco on the scout team because he went to the community college and just wanted to get some reps. And now one year later, he's in Death Valley going against one of the best defenses in college football.
And the running backs have been a story all week long. Cameron Petway is in the lineup tonight for Auburn, and he starts to the left of Stidham, who comes out firing on first down. Well, that was the idea, and now he'll be crushed down for a loss of 2. Kendall Joseph making the first stop of the night for Clemson along with Austin Bryant.
This is something to watch all night. The pass rush of the Clemson Tigers going up against Stidham, who's an excellent passer. Outstanding arm talent, can make all the throws, and really impressive when he has time to throw. But we've got to watch him under pressure. He has struggled to trust his protection.
This is not a late arriving crowd. They came early. Ryan Davis on the receiving end, and Mark Fields, he came early as well, third down.
The biggest difference in this Clemson football team this year is it's the first time in a long time that they are completely aware of how good they are on the defensive side, and the questions are on the offensive side, not defensively. They're going to be attacking all night, especially in third down situations.
Here's the exact spot Stidham did not want to be in on the first series, 3rd and 14. Clemson doesn't have to bring pressure to get pressure. They're rushing just 3. Here's Stidham, good pocket for him, across the middle, and a big catch by Nate Craig Myers, and he took a lick. Took a big hit from behind, able to hang on for the first down.
To Todd's point, this is exactly what Jarrett Stidham didn't do last week. Trust his protection and pull the trigger down the middle of the field to Craig Myers. Excellent start.
Gain of 23. We expect tempo from Auburn, and here we go. Handoff to Petway. And that ball might have come out. Let's see. Dexter Lawrence made the tackle.
You know, Steve, I was down on the field before the game checking out Cameron Petway. There was some question as to whether he would play in this game. I talked to Coach Gus Malzahn. He said he was nicked up, re-injured, an injury this week in practice, but he looks ready to roll, and he needs him.
2nd and 7 now. Just shy of midfield. Fake it to Petway. Stidham the throw. Feels the pressure from behind, and just too high for Kyle Davis. And it was good coverage on the play as well. Bring up another third down.
Gus does not want to be in these 3rd and long situations. His offense is not built from a protection standpoint up front to weather the storm of Clemson's defensive line. Both tackles for Auburn are new. Darius James, the right tackle, and Prince Tega Winogo on the left side.
So they had a 3rd and 14, and here's a 3rd and 7. Able to pick it up the first time. Here comes the pressure up the middle. Picked up nicely. Blitz is picked up, and back shoulder throw. Nearly a miracle catch by Kyle Davis, but a flag comes. Marcus Edmond had the coverage.
Kyle Davis is coming off of a suspension last week's game. He did not play. Such a big factor for this offense, a downfield threat.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty.
Referee Matt Loeffler. It's an SEC crew.
And we're going to add injury to insult here with Marcus Edmond. He was the guilty party and looked like he came up ginger on that right foot. That is not a good sign for Clemson. They are not very deep in this secondary. They're playing 3 new starters. Van Smith, their safety, heck of a football player, is out for this football game. They lost Jadar Johnson from last year, Cordeo Tankersley. So Trayvon Mullen and Marcus Edmond have been trading off their time at corner, and if Edmond can't return, expect Jarrett Stidham and Auburn to attack downfield.
Edmond making those 2 critical defensive plays a year ago. One against Louisville, and the interception to end it against NC State.
You know, on that last throw, they wouldn't have been able to get the ball off if not for the good protection up front and Cameron Petway getting involved in protection on the Mike linebacker.
So after the marker, it's 1st down and 10 into Clemson territory. Another flag goes before they snap it.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 12 in the formation. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Looked like there was some confusion there. Brent Venables was trying to get in the replacement for Marcus Edmond. Mark Fields and Ryan Carter were on the field as well as Trayvon Mullen. Brings up a 1st and 5. Think about the confidence this drive. A couple of penalties, but now you're in the red zone area. Think of the confidence this gives Jarrett Stidham, his first drive in Death Valley.
Stidham will hand it off to Petway. And he'll squeeze through for a couple. Impact players really everywhere you look on the field, up and down the roster.
Yeah, these Chick-fil-A impact players. Get ready for Cameron Petway. He's been an absolute wrecking ball through the SEC a year ago. 122 yards a game, but they've got some pretty SEC-style defensive tackles here tonight. Dexter Lawrence and Christian Williams, simply the best duo in all of college football.
Petway, the top returning rusher in the country. We'll watch for him tonight on 2nd and 2. And let's see.
Before the snap.
Early timeout.
Timeout. Auburn.
Less than 3 minutes into the game. Auburn spends a timeout. Scoreless early. Tigers and Tigers. Penalties, a timeout, and an Auburn offense looking at this.
Yeah, nobody wants to look at that. I guarantee you no quarterback wants to look at that trio.
2nd and short, handed off to Petway. He's been the only ball carrier on this drive. He's got the 1st down easily, and they're inside the 15 now.
I really like what Gus Malzahn and Chip Lindsey, the new offensive coordinator, are doing on this drive. They're throwing the ball on 1st and 2nd down, Steve, and then they're giving the ball to Cameron Petway. It's opposite of what they traditionally have done. Throw and then take run shots off the play action.
Fake to Petway and throw. Ball belted up in the air and nearly intercepted. Kevon Wallace nearly picked it off from his nickelback spot off the hands of Kyle Davis.
This is a hot ball coming from Jarrett Stidham that's thrown a little bit behind Kyle Davis. That would have been a very difficult catch. In that situation, you want your wide receiver to save you some space on the outside. Kyle Davis didn't take his time, got in there so fast that the ball was incomplete.
2nd down and 10. 9th play of this drive. Hand off to Petway. Nothing doing there. Ran right into the teeth of that Clemson defense we just showed you.
Yeah, and those big guys up front that we showed, the beneficiary of that is number 34, Kendall Joseph. He is a tackling machine. 124 of them a year ago. That was 2nd on the team, only to Ben Boulware. But he's going to run free in a lot of cases because they demand double teams up front. It's going to be a battle between he and Petway in the hole. Third down situations, the edge pass rushers for Clemson. Farrell and Bryant on the outside.
Clemson bringing some people here. They get through. Stidham in trouble, running for his life. Turns the corner. He'll get yardage and very close to the 1st down. I think he's going to go up just short. Looks like he's a yard shy there. Bring up a 4th down and 1.
That's great athletic ability by Jarrett Stidham. That's the most underrated part of his game. Everybody talks about him throwing the football, but he's got enough speed to make plays with his feet. And now an interesting decision for Gus Malzahn. I think you go for it here, Steve. Points are going to be at a premium in this game. You get down this close with a hammer like Petway, might give him an opportunity on 4th and 1.
They're going to kick. Daniel Carlson will come on. The all-time leading scorer in school history from 22.
I think Gus wants to think about this.
Wow.
Second charge timeout, Auburn.
We're not even 5 minutes in, and Gus has spent his second timeout. I agree. He's taking them off the hook. He's doing them a favor by going for a field goal. But you said interesting decision to be made here.
Yeah, I think he wants to think about it. He wants to maybe get a measurement there, see just how far he has. May not change his decision, but it's worth the timeout in the first half.
So is this an impressive opening drive for Auburn? They've been helped out by a couple of penalties.
Yeah.
They've been backed up on a couple of third down spots, able to work their way out.
I think it's interesting. We have emotion in this game, right? This is a huge ball game. You know, we have the defending national champions. We got an Auburn team that thinks they can compete in the SEC West and Alabama. There's a lot of emotion placed on this game, and we were talking with Tony Elliott yesterday. He said the game's not going to be won on emotion, right? It's going to be won on execution.
Focus.
And in the first drive here, we've seen Clemson with a little bit of lack of execution and some penalties that have allowed Auburn to go down the field.
So Gus rethought it. Here comes the quarterback.
I think it's a good call.
Jarrett Stidham comes back out. I'll tell you in about 15 seconds. 4th and 1.
In this situation, they like to follow the fullback, Chandler Cox. Watch where he goes. That's normally where the ball goes.
Just inside the 5. There's the sledgehammer. Petway you talked about. And he has just enough for the first down. And I mean just.
Boy, he is such a load. I mean, he's 235 pounds. I went to practice on Wednesday, okay, and he didn't practice. He's been nicked up. He's been hurt in camp, all camp. He didn't scrimmage. Gus kept him out of all the scrimmages, waiting for this opportunity, and he's going to gut it out tonight. You see he's got that leg taped up. That was an excellent drive right there to get a first down.
Suspended for the first game, and they didn't need him against Kent State. They need him here. I mean, against Georgia Southern, I beg your pardon. 1st and goal from the 4. It's Petway again. Tries to lower the shoulder. Didn't get low enough. Kendall Joseph had the lower pad level, along with Trey Lamar.
On the stop.
We talked about it. It's going to be all night. 225 those Kendall Joseph and 235 on Petway. This is going to be fun to watch. Here he is right here. Unblocked. And that's just big boy football.
Little shift, and it still goes to Petway. And he's going to push back. See where they spot his forward progress. Cleveland Farrell made the stop. Todd.
A great job there by Christian Wilkins. Right before the snap, he stemmed, which means he moved over the nose, did a good job of penetrating, taking on 2 blocks, and that opened up the hole for the linebacker to come in and make the play. These defensive tackles have done their job so far.
You know, 2 times they've tried to slam it in between the tackles with Cameron Petway to no avail. We got a little sugar huddle here. That'll be alert for a quick snap. Maybe get the ball to the outside in the perimeter.
Chandler Cox, the fullback, trying to slam it up in there. And he won't get there. J.D. Davis came up to make the tackle. 4th and goal.
3 consecutive plays with 3 unblocked linebackers in the hole. This time it's Davis. That's 3 plays. You got to block the linebacker. That's what we're talking about. This defensive line is so good, it's hard to get up to the second level. There's nowhere for the back to go. Now this call down here, going for it again, 2 times in a row. I think it's the right decision, because if you don't make it, you're putting a young quarterback in Kelly Bryant, his first snap inside the 1.
They only have 2 to snap it here. And they don't get it off. Delay a game.
Delay a game. On the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And that's on the coach, right? That's on the coach, making the decision quick enough, getting the personnel in, and now you got to kick the field goal.
What a letdown. You get the 3 big conversions on 3rd down. You get the 4th down conversion the first time.
give some credit to this Clemson defense, right? They had the 2 penalties early in the drive, and they've stiffened inside this 10-yard line.
How about a tip of the hat to the crowd, too?
Absolutely.
Helping the defense out there. 24-yard field goal attempt for Daniel Carlson. On the way, and it squeezes through. Didn't need to be Legatron there. From 24. 15 plays down the field. 69 yards, ending with a field goal.
ESPN College Football is presented by Hampton by Hilton. Book a room today and follow your team all the way. And in part by NBA 2K18. Run the neighborhood. Rated everyone 10 and up.
I think they could have a bigger sign on the highway recognizing national champs. Clemson values wins on an opponent's home field as an extraordinary accomplishment. They have this graveyard set up outside the facility. The win over Miami in 2009 was Dabo's first graveyard win. You were there for that one, right, Grease?
I was actually in the studio doing the coaches' film room. Loved it. And I was there for that was the national championship, and then in 2009, the Miami game. It was his first win over a top 25 team. So he said, he came up to us and he said, I'm 2-1 calling his games. He said, you're still 500, only 1-1 doing his games.
Yeah, I was surprised they invited us back after last year. We were here for the Pittsburgh game and the NC State game. They probably should have lost. Cornell Powell takes a knee. They'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. And again, Deshaun Watson, he was on the sideline last week. He was cheering on Kelly Bryant. There's no security blanket. There's a huge shadow now cast over the quarterback position.
Yeah, Steve, how would you like to take over for the best player in Clemson history? That's all you got to do.
No, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Well, Kelly Bryant might be up to the task. Last week was outstanding. Now, again, we talked about that was against Kent State. Completely different animal here against this Auburn front four. They're not as quite at the level of Clemson, but they run 8 to 10 deep, and Kelly Bryant will go up against them all night.
Off the play fake. Bryant rolling to his right and throwing and able to complete to Hunter Renfrow. Won't be the last time we will say that. Already well ahead of their last matchup against Auburn. Last year their first play went for a false start, Todd.
It's a good call, Steve. With Bryant, I think the big thing is how he handles any kind of negative action today. Is he going to be able to do a good job after interceptions and plays like that?
Gives it to C.J. Fuller for the carry. Trey Matthews comes up to make the stop for Auburn.
Yeah, I think what Todd's referencing is can he have a quick memory? If something goes bad or if he gets sacked, throws an interception, can he get back, move on to the next play? Deshaun Watson was excellent at that, and it remains to be seen about young number 2.
Pick up the first down. Here's Bryant throwing, at time too high for Ray McLeod. And once again, down to Todd.
The Chick-fil-A impact players. I'll start on the offensive side, Grease here. I think the wide receivers are the story. Really impressed with how deep this group is. 9 receivers are going to rotate, but Hunter Renfrow, 15 of his 44 catches last year in the final 2 games. And then Deion Kane, a vertical threat who's refined his routes a little bit this year.
Yeah, and those 2 guys up front, Derek Brown and Martavius Russell, excellent football players, and Carlton Davis at corner.
We'll watch for that. Here's Bryant going to keep it, and all we've been told is he's super fast. Is he wide receiver burner fast?
Absolutely. There's no question. He's a 4.4 athlete, and the challenge is how do you run this offense when you're that fast? Because everything happens faster. He has to be patient for holes to open up, and certainly Kevin Steele, defensive coordinator for Auburn, is going to make him make quick decisions. He's going to pressure him in many situations.
3rd down and 8. Good look at Bryant surveying the defense. Backside pressure, doesn't feel it, he's taken down. Jeff Holland got there along with Nick Coe.
Jeff Holland, he's taken over for Carl Lawson, the All-American, who's graduated. They also lose Montravius Adams, but they have plenty in reserve. Holland has come on. Coaches have been very excited about his development. Nick Coe, you got Marlon Davidson on the outside. Byron Coward, Paul James, 10 of them are going to play in this game, and all of them can rush the passer.
Will Spires back to punt, standing at his own 15. Stephen Roberts back deep for Auburn. No pressure on Spires, and Roberts will let it bounce. It takes a Clemson bounce in a big way, and it will stop rolling at the 16. Two outstanding defensive fronts in this game. Both quarterbacks figure to hit the dirt on more than one occasion. It was Bryant turns first. You're watching the ACC on ESPN, courtesy of a 53-yard punt. Auburn is backed up now. And we'll get a second look at their offense. First time around, they went 69 yards. 15 plays had to settle for a field goal after a delay-of-game penalty. Handed off, jet sweep to Eli Stove coming around. Gain of 1 on the play. There is a flag down on the near side. We'll check the marker.
Well, while they talk it out, Gus Malzahn get ready for his next play. Be interesting to see in this drive if he continues to throw the ball on first down in an effort to open up lanes for Cameron Petway to run the ball on second down.
Illegal motion. Illegal motion.
You're good.
Now you're not.
Can hear you loud and clear. I believe it's illegal motion is the call.
Take it easy on Matt Leffler down there. Okay, SEC officials tonight. We have a treat tonight.
What's that?
The coordinator of officials,
yes.
Rogers Redding, in the booth with us tonight. We're honored to be in the presence of greatness.
I'm so glad to be here, guys. Thank you.
Don't cheat him on the S. It's Rogers.
That's right. Thank you so much.
The S is for superstar.
I don't think Rogers has ever been brought in without a penalty. I mean, that's how big you are, Rogers.
That's right.
He's having a hot dog.
That's right.
I imagine we'll check with you later. Don't go too far, Rogers. Push him back 5 yards, so it's a 1st and 15 to open. Ball spotted at their own 12. Stidham to throw. Down the sideline, and there's a flag. Kyle Davis, the intended target, and Mark Fields is going to get busted for pass interference.
Been the best offense so far for Auburn. Throw the ball up to Kyle Davis. He got a penalty on Marcus Edmond, and they got the same. You see, Gus, he got the same penalty on Mark Fields. He's a big player. Kyle Davis, 6'2", 215 pounds, and Davis just doesn't have the size to defend him on the outside.
And remember, Fields is coming in as a replacement for Edmond, who left earlier in the game with an injury.
Great point. Already shorthanded in that secondary for Clemson. It might be the only weak link of this defense, especially tonight with people banged up and the injury now. So the penalty takes Auburn out of trouble. Here's Stidham up the gut. Oh, a little spin move. And he stumbles across the 30 out to about the 33.
Well, you mentioned that, the only weakness on a Clemson defense, but that's a pretty big one, okay? I mean, if you can't get to the passer consistently, which Clemson normally does, and you allow teams to throw the ball down the field. Remember, this is a secondary that graduated Jadar Johnson, who had 5 interceptions a year ago. No more Corderea Tankersley. Van Smith, we mentioned, is out for this game. You're already starting a new safety in Tanner Muse, and now you got Mark Fields out there. There's a lot of moving parts and new guys in the secondary.
2nd down and 6. And they were backed up at the 12 to start after the penalty. And it's Petway picking and choosing his spots for the first down. So I'll ask you then, Brian, was Gus snowing us when he said he thought this Clemson defense was better than the national championship defense of a year ago?
I don't know. I don't think we know yet. I think we know that they're really good in the front seven. Potentially they're better than they were a year ago, but in the secondary, I think that's where the question mark is, and that's where Brent Venables has his concerns.
Fields is checked out. Ryan Carter is in his place. It's Petway, second effort. Still not much doing there. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Kendall Joseph, his first stop of the night.
It seems like any time that Auburn tries to run the ball on first down, Clemson's ready for it. And when they throw the ball on first down and then come back to it, it's a little bit more space for Petway to work. Either way, he's a great football player. It's fun to watch 36 and white. He's tough to get down.
9 carries for 36 yards. Here's his 10th carry of the young night. And he'll break through into the secondary and come up just short of the first down.
And one thing to keep an eye on, guys, as the night progresses, Auburn obviously has possessed the ball more early in this game in the first quarter. The defensive line, as great as Clemson is with the starting four, they're not as deep as they've been in usual years because they lost Scott Pagano to transfer, and Richard Jurgen had the season-ending neck injury. So they're without 2 guys that they really counted on to be in the rotation.
That's a great point, Todd.
On 3rd and 1, it's Petway breaking through, and he has another first down.
This game could not be going any better for Gus Malzahn. This is how he wants to play. Control the ball on offense, ramp up the number of plays. He's controlling the tempo. Normally he's going really fast. You know, normally he's pointing at the ground. He's taking his time. He's getting in the huddle some. He's calling the plays and controlling this football game early.
11 carries, 49 yards so far for Petway. He won't add to it. Here's Stidham, going to keep it. He'll get out of bounds for pickup of a couple.
We're already seeing some substitutions from Brent Venables. He's taken out Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence. He's put in his backups, Jabril Robinson, play some. Albert Huggins will play in there. Not quite as dominant with when those guys in there, though, as well.
Venables is a high motor coordinator. We always hear about a high motor player. Little flea flicker. And the throw will go incomplete. So after going ultra conservative, little college football hijinks. That was fun, although it didn't lead to anything.
It's a great job by Kayvon Wallace in the backfield. You're going to see on the deep post, he's not fooled. He reacts there. I mean, that's covered. There's nowhere for that ball to go. It's a good job on the back end, but I think there was a mistake up front and a personal foul grounding. Well, they called intentional grounding, which I don't understand. He was outside the pocket.
And overhit.
And lost it down.
Yeah. He was outside the pocket. It's pretty clear he was outside the pocket.
Oh, Rogers.
You throw the ball to the line of scrimmage. You're free to do that, right, Rogers?
Box, and what they ruled was that he didn't do that. So it's hard to argue with that call though, because he's trying to dump it off.
3rd and 22. Here's Stidham. Steps up and throws. And if there's no flag there, it's excellent coverage. Mark Fields not going to be flagged that time. Step for step, Ryan Davis. Bring up a 4th down to punt.
Well, let's go back and take one more look at that grounding penalty. If he were outside the box, he's completely legal to throw that ball. He's splitting the numbers in the hash. That's way outside the tackle box.
Yeah, you're right.
That was a missed call.
Yep, I agree.
And takes away momentum. They were inside the 50-yard line now.
See if Ray McLeod has a chance to field this. He'll let it bounce. Takes a big Auburn bounce all the way down to the Clemson 10. Well, it's all up for grabs. The men's championship, the U.S. Open. It'll come your way tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN. Rafael Nadal against Kevin Anderson. And wouldn't you know, Chris Fowler will be on the call. He's doing the big game tonight at Ohio State. And then we'll travel through the night to Queens, New York. and call the U.S. Open men's final tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, here on ESPN. First down and 10 for Clemson. First drive didn't go so well. Quick screen out to McLeod. And that ball came out. Auburn says they have it, and they do! Jeremiah Dinson came up with the ball, stripped it, and picked it up.
I'm standing probably 15 yards away from him. I saw him right at the end. He ripped it out. It looked like the knee was not down. And my guess is that this is going to stand, that this is a fumble and Auburn's ball.
Oh, you're fighting for some extra yards, Ray McLeod. Boy,
pretty
that's
close.
Yeah. It's close, and it's important to know the ruling on the field that was a fumble. And Rodgers, as you look at that, with the ruling on the field, how do you see that?
Looks like the knee is down. The ball might start coming out. It's hard to tell when you slow it down because in real time it may look like it's coming out. Anything slowed down looks like possession.
Right. Well, the question is there indisputable evidence to overturn the call on the field there?
I think they're going to have to let that stand.
Yep. Boy, great effort from Jeremiah Dinson. He's the one that forced the fumble and recovered it.
That reaction is from the crowd seeing it on the Jumbotron here in the stadium. They too believe the knee was down.
This defense for Auburn last week jumped out on tape. Their effort running to the football. They played Georgia Southern, a triple option team, and sometimes you don't know how you're going to respond to those kinds of games, but they gave maximum effort, and you wondered if they would come out with a kind of a triple option hangover, like all you do is prepare for that kind of a style of offense.
They said they spent 10 days alone just working on that. 10 days they could have been using to maybe prepare for Clemson. Figuring they had the game one win.
But Kevin Steele, their defensive coordinator, said that this offense for Clemson is about 85% the same as what they see every day in practice. So they felt like they were prepared, and they have come out flying around in this first quarter, and looks like they may have caused a turnover inside the 15-yard line.
So, Rodgers, if they're taking such a long look at that, what does the length of the replay tell you?
They're trying to get a better look at it. The longer they go, the less likely they are to flip it. So I would be a little bit surprised if they didn't just let this stand.
See, we told you we'd get you on and have some pleasantries, and then we really put you to work here, make you make decisions up here.
While we're waiting, let me talk about that grounding call again. If the original player with the ball, like the quarterback, gives it up to somebody else and then gets it back, he cannot ground the ball legally no matter where he is.
Oh, great point.
So my bad. Whether he's out of the pocket or not doesn't matter.
The ruling on the field stands. First down, Auburn.
Well, that makes Rodgers 2 for 2.
And stands is significant language there.
Yeah, stands is important. I mean, remember, the default position is the ruling on the field is correct. And so unless they have absolutely 100% evidence that it's to overturn it, then they have to let it stand. And the length of the call, length of the review would indicate they're going to let it stand.
Got it.
So Jeremiah Dinson causes the fumble and recovers it. Last week was his first game since November of 15. Taking a devastating injury hit, hurt his knee and shoulder. Up the middle, it's Petway. Who else? Dorian O'Daniel filled the hole.
Boy, the right side of this offensive line for Auburn. Braden Smith, the All-American right guard. Darius James, who's a transfer from Texas, now playing right tackle. They are getting movement up front on this defensive line for Clemson. When you get movement and then Petway behind it, that's tough to stop.
Second down and 5. They can still get a first down. You see it about the 6-inch mark. Here's Stidham to throw. Now flush from the pocket. He'll tuck it and maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. O'Daniel tracked him down. Bring him a third down now.
Big third down here. Clemson was able defensively to get that stop inside the 5 after they got the 4th and 1 stop. Can they get another one here?
That'll be the last play of quarter number 1. A quarter dominated by Auburn. yet they only lead 3-0. But they are knocking on the door. We'll have it for you when we come back. Look at your first quarter statistics. No typos on the Clemson side. How about that? Only run 6 offensive plays for the defending national champions. And they're up against it right now as we open quarter number 2. First down and goal from the Clemson 6. Jarrett Stidham. A lot of traffic in there, and he's brought down. Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins. Big-time play right there.
Yeah, when you need it the most, you go to the All-Americans, and Christian Wilkins, so difficult to block him on the inside. He goes right around the other All-American, Braden Smith. Talk about the leadership of this Clemson team. It's on defense, and 2 times in this first quarter, they have come up big to force field goal attempts.
The change of quarter may have helped there too. The big guys getting their legs fresh.
Daniel Carlson was good from 24. This from 28. It too is good. And Auburn opens up a 6-0 lead. And if you're just joining us, and we understand there are many great games going on around the country tonight, so many outstanding matchups, all going to be played at the same time. You see 6-0, you think a defensive struggle, but what's really going on with Clemson here tonight at home?
Well, they're not getting any opportunities on offense. Auburn has taken this game to them. Gus Malzahn has come in with an approach to run Cameron Petway, throw the ball on first down with Jarrett Stidham, and not allow Kelly Bryant to get any kind of rhythm going early in this game. I think it's worked to perfection.
Perfect strategy, and we'll see another crack at it. Clemson will get the ball back. A couple of field goals on the board for Auburn, and that's where we stand here inside the first minute.
And Dabo on that sidelines telling Jeff Scott, offensive coordinator, and Tony Elliott, we just need to get some first downs. Get some first downs, get some tempo, establish some rhythm, and take back control here before halftime.
Could be any nerves on Clemson. Yes, they're the defending champs, but Dabo made the point. Guys who were special teams players a year ago are now playing significant roles this year. So maybe the experience of the national championship maybe doesn't help them here tonight. Some of those players anyway. Here's Powell. He'll take a knee. Send it back to Adnan Virk in the studio. You might hear Adnan's voice more than mine the rest of the night. There are so many great matchups that are all going to be going on and kick off in the next 7-8 minutes. We'll keep you posted on everything going on around the country tonight, courtesy of Adnan. Back in the studio on first down and 10. Here's Adam Choice.
And off to Adam Choice.
Good first down run right behind Mitch Hyatt, the left tackle, junior, making his 31st career start for Clemson. If you want to run the ball, that's a good place to start, behind him.
Hyatt has started every game in his career except one. He was late to a team meeting. Dabo made him pay the price. Here's Choice again, trying the left side. He'll bring up a third down and short as Jeremiah Dinson made the tackle.
I think people forget how much of this offense graduated. 78% of it gone. Only 22% returns. That's Deshaun Watson, Wayne Gallman, Jordan Leggett, Artavis Scott, Mike Williams. All 3-year starters to boot. That is not easy to replace.
And all household names. Simply amazing. 3rd and 2 for Kelly Bryant. Five to get it off. And they will. Bryant fakes the handoff, and he won't get to the first down marker. Deshaun Davis came up with a big stick to deny him.
Sean Davis has his hands full today. He's going to go up against this offensive line and try to tackle number 2, one of the faster quarterbacks in college football, but no chance on that play. Brings up a 4th down, and you have to punt. The last thing Dabo Swinney wanted to do was go 3 and out on this drive after giving up 2 long drives to Auburn. But the Auburn defense was up to the task.
Davis got his first career start last year in the game against Clemson. Had a very good game, 5 tackles and 2 quarterback hurries. Will Spires will get it away. Stephen Roberts will let it bounce, and then good idea to get away from it. And that will roll inside the Auburn 20. Auburn will take over after the 49-yard punt. It's a defensive battle, as you might imagine. 6-0.
Welcome back. Big 3rd down conversion. Little mix-up here between Sean Pollard, the right tackle, and Taylor Hearn, the left guard. Watch as Taylor Hearn's going to pull here, and then they run into each other right there, and there's nobody left to block the linebacker. After the play's over, they look at each other, and a little bit of miscommunication between the 2 of those guys. Pollard was fighting for that right tackle spot. Costly error.
Here's Cam Petway, the ball carrier. That'll be his 13th rush of the night. Compare that to Clemson running 9 total plays. Petway's touched the ball more than the entire Clemson offense.
Well, there's 2 factors going on here. You're getting a lot of Petway, and he's wearing down on your defense, and also the sheer number of plays. It's going to have an effect on the Clemson defense in the second half.
2nd and 7. Petway put his foot in the ground, nearly got to the outside, but couldn't get there. Dorian O'Donnell and Jabril Robinson made the stop. O'Daniel's having a day himself already.
This is where Brent Venables likes to dial up pressure. 3rd and 8. You know it's a passing situation. He is a longtime defensive coordinator. Loves to bring creative pressures. He likes to put Christian Wilkins over the nose, number 42.
3rd and 8. Rushing 5. Stidham throws and completes. Ryan Davis well short of the marker. Kayvon Wallace made the stop. I don't know if you were able to see it, but right before the snap, Venables was pulled back off the field. And he was so excited about his defense, he was pulled back by one of the assistants off the playing field, and they're able to set up for the punt now.
Clemson's defense keeping them in this football game, Steve.
Ian Shannon is back to punt. Gets a little bit of pressure. And McLeod will feel it at the 36. Cuts to the outside and can't turn the corner. Kick off your Week 1 NFL with ESPN. We've got a new time. We've got a new team. Hang on, is this a live picture of them right now? Sunday NFL Countdown coming at 10 a.m. Eastern. Rex, and Charles, and Matt, and Randy, and Morton Shefty, and new host Samantha Ponder. Go get them, Sam. They'll have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, preview each game right up to kickoff. All streaming live on the ESPN app.
Charles was checking his, Twitter followers right there.
Mm-hmm.
I know how he is.
Shefty couldn't be there, of course. He was being the captain at Michigan.
That's right.
Ceremonial captain. Adam Choice, the ball carrier.
Got to get this run game going. Whether it's C.J. Fuller, Choice, Tavian Feaster, the true freshman Etienne. They've got 4 backs that can run the ball. They got to get the ground game going, take pressure off Kelly Bryant.
Ground game, run game, any game. Got to get something going here. And that's not going to do it. Short pickup to McLeod. And I'll bring up a 3rd down and short. Some momentum, some kind of big spark, big play, get this crowd back in the game.
Typically where that has come from last week was from the feet of Kelly Bryant. And so far he's been bottled up. Hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities.
Watch for Renfro here, number 13, the slot receiver. He's big on 3rd downs.
third opportunity to convert. They are 0 for 2 on this night. Rolling to the right and complete. Todd on the money. It's Renfro, and he just got there.
They put him in motion to try to help him get a clean release off the line of scrimmage. He's not the biggest receiver, so sometimes you can press him and affect his route. You see there, he does such a great job of gaining separation out of his break, and he's a really sure-handed receiver.
Todd, that's the ball he caught in the national championship game for the win. Sure, he likes running that one.
That one from Deshaun. This one from Kelly. Here's Bryant to throw again under pressure. He is hit as he releases. Jeff Holland applying the wood.
Oh, Jeff Holland doesn't get there. This is a touchdown. Here comes Holland right here. He's going to come up the field. Watch when he gets to the quarterback. They're trying to run a double move with Hunter Renfro. The ball's coming out. Look how wide open the middle of the field. That's right where Renfro was headed. That's what pressure does to offenses. Doesn't allow you to push the ball down the field.
Second down and 10. Bryant trying to set up the screen to Renfro. Running through people and spinning. And close to another first down.
Kelly Bryant took a shot. He's still down on the field. And everybody's holding their breath here.
Yeah, silence, Death Valley.
He was dropping back, trying to throw a little slip screen. Normally a quarterback will not get hit on that kind of a drop because he's just given ground.
But Zarek Cooper, left side of your screen warming up. The redshirt freshman. Taking a look, see what happened.
Throwing the slip screen to the left. That's Dontavius Russell that comes in and just lands on top of him. Oh, goodness. You're hoping those big guys fall on top of you. That just takes your breath away. Sometimes that happens when you have the ball in between yourself and the ground, but he didn't have the football.
They just showed the replay up on the scoreboard, and that's the reaction from the crowd. Can't help but think about DeAndre Francois going down Florida State and their hopes, and who's Kelly Bryant. Not to say this is anywhere near that serious, but it's the reaction of the people.
Can't tell you how that feels when that big defensive lineman comes down on top of you. That does not feel good. The air can come out of you fast. Hopefully that's all
best
that
case.
happened. The number 2, yeah. Sometimes you get concerned when you go down on the shoulder that you're going to have shoulder injuries, but he didn't come down on his shoulder, so hopefully he'll be back in this football game, but we'll see at least one snap of young Zarek Cooper, redshirt freshman.
In the quarterback, number 6, Zarek Cooper.
Cooper did get in the last week's game. Was 4 for 6. $37 yards passing a week ago. And their win over Kent State 56-3. Did not think he would be pressed into service here, especially on the 3rd and 1. Good idea to hand it off to Adam Choice, and it's really close. You see the official straddling the imaginary yellow line.
Adam Choice.
They gave him a first down.
Yeah, they did. Pretty quickly.
He went right behind Tyrone Crowder, all 340 pounds of him. It's not a bad idea, but Zarek Cooper can throw the ball. I was watching him in practice yesterday. He's, in a lot of ways, more fluid throwing the football than Kelly Bryant. Doesn't have the explosive running ability, but run this offense efficiently.
On the ground, Jeff Holland brings Cooper down.
The quarterback keeper, brought down by number 4, Jeff Holland.
Kelly Bryant went inside the injury tent.
No gain, it'll be 2nd and 10.
So it's, at least for this drive, it's going to be Zarek Cooper.
Well, you're right. He's got the arm talent. There's no. Coach has said he can spin it. That's quite a compliment. Here he is trying to spin it down the sideline, and it's batted away. Deion Kane was the intended target. Jamel Dean on the coverage.
Well, there's been 2 pass interference calls that have gone against Clemson defensively, and I don't know how this one doesn't go against Auburn the way that they've been calling it. Jamel Dean had his hands all over the receiver. Jersey.
Little tug with the left hand. Little tug. 3rd and 10 now.
Call it both ways, though.
Yep.
Right? Be smart here in 3rd and 10.
Pressure coming up the middle. Able to get it away for the short gain and push back to the line of scrimmage. Choice, the receiver out of the backfield. Jeremiah Dinson made the stop.
That's a smart play there. It's a smart call, smart play by Zara Cooper. Don't take a sack, get 5-6 yards, and allow Greg Hugel the opportunity to come in and attempt a 47-yard field goal.
Don't lose the game right here. Looks like it will be from 47. That's his career longest 47. We'll call it 46. And they've got 3 to snap it. And no. Nothing doing, not even close. Maybe blocked at the line of scrimmage. So the news, and as you know, bad news travels fast. And all over the country, people are talking about what's going on with Kelly Bryant. We'll be right back.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Start game day strong with the new breakfast hash brown scramble bowl. And Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
One of the many great traditions here at Clemson, touching the rock and running down that hill. But the best news for these Tigers since winning the national championship is the sight of their young star quarterback, Kelly Bryant. Trying to get loose on the sideline.
Yeah,
Does that tell you anything?
Looks like he should be coming back in this football game.
Off the play fake. Quick throw to Ryan Davis, and he is immediately tackled for a loss. Chad Smith made the stop.
And as you guys said, Ryan has been throwing down on the sideline. He looks fine throwing the ball. They continue to do tests to see his coordination. He was running backwards, going through a bunch of different tests. He looks good. The trainer just asked him, "Are you okay?" He said, "Yeah, I'm fine." So expect to see him again.
Yeah, Todd, he's looking for his helmet now, so he'll be coming back in this game. You know, you talked about the adversity he was going to face. He's got it now.
2nd and 11. Stidham completes to Will Hastings. His first grab. Another stop for O'Daniel. Grease, you wondered maybe he hit his head on the turf.
Yeah, it didn't look like it. Didn't look like it.
And when you're running those drills, though, and trying to get loose, running backwards, I thought it was a shoulder, maybe a collar.
That's what it looks like when Dorian O'Daniel at 225 pounds tackles Will Hastings at 165.
3rd and 1. Petway breaks through, just got enough for the first down. And this right here has been the story of the game.
Yep.
Petway up the middle.
Yep. And, you know, he's hard to stop. This is why he ran through SEC defenses. This is nothing new for him. This Clemson defense is outstanding. And the 2 defensive tackles are awesome. They're not anything new from what he saw all last year when he ran through the SEC for 122 yards a clip.
He's played every snap in the game. Here's Stidham trying the passing game on for size, and it's knocked away. Eli Stove was looking for a flag, and Ryan Carter said, "I don't think so."
We knew Gus Malzahn wanted to take more shots down the field. I'm just surprised he decided to go to Eli Stove. He's not the burner on the outside, and he doesn't have the size that Kyle Davis or Darius Slayton do. And that time it was easy for Ryan Carter, who's in good position to break up the play.
Popped up off the helmet. Stidham, for what it's worth, in the blowout win a week ago, was 0 for 3 on passes 20 yards or more down the field. Here's Petway. Out of the backfield, no, and Kyle Davis, the intended target. Mark Fields on the coverage, so another shot by Stidham in the Auburn offense, trying to go deep.
Then Petway in the middle or take a shot 50-50 down the field. Now this is not open. Kyle Davis is not in position. Mark Fields played it perfectly. Kept his distance, didn't get an interference penalty. Should have made the interception, quite frankly.
Stidham 5 of 10 for 35 yards. Here on 3rd down and 10. Trying to set it up for Cam Martin, his first touch of the night. Slips by one tackler but can't get by another. Out to the 45, it'll bring up a 4th down.
Great pursuit there from front 7, Clemson, Tanner Muse, Austin Bryant. The hustle there, because that play was open and had potential to get a 1st down, but the hustle and effort kept him from getting the sticks.
Martin was very effective a week ago when Kerryon Johnson first was injured with the leg injury that's keeping Johnson out of tonight's game. Ray McCloud back at his own 15. Shannon to punt from his 31. He'll let it fly into the Clemson night. And Clemson will take over at the 12-yard line when we come back. And we expect to see Kelly Bryant at quarterback. Lights are on, and everybody's home here in Death Valley on a Saturday night. Taco Bell is a proud partner of the College Football Playoff. Be on the lookout for Taco Bell student sections and passionate fans like these at games all season long. College football fans, there's nothing like them. Kelly Bryant is back at quarterback for Clemson, a sigh of relief for the time being. Milan Richard on the receiving end. The tight end gets into the act tonight for his first catch.
Kelly Bryant's back in the game, but Clemson's hoping to get their offense back. They ran through Kent State last week, and they were humming. And there's been nothing going for Clemson offensively in this game. Give credit to Auburn's defense, but an opportunity here with a little under 4 minutes before halftime to get something on the board.
This crowd has had very little to cheer about tonight. Bryant, quick throw. Able to complete to McCloud, and he is rocketed back by Javaris Davis.
Ray McCloud's been hit hard a couple of times, fumbled once inside their own red zone. Ultimately, you're going to have to push the ball down the field at some point. You got to take pressure off of your offense, and Kelly Bryant's one of his strengths is throwing the deep ball. Maybe you get a pass interference if nothing else.
3rd and 2. Bryant to loft one down the sideline, and it is a jump ball, and Deion Kane's got it. Don't worry about the flag. Carlton Davis on the coverage.
Well, somebody was listening. It's what you got to do. You got to give Deion Kane an opportunity down the field. He had 38 catches a year ago. 9 of them were touchdowns. He's your best big play wide receiver on the outside.
There's no foul for pass interference. First down. Check.
At 6'1", 190 pounds, going up against Carlton Davis. And we knew that Carlton Davis was going to match up on Kane most of the night. You just got to make a play for your team. Get some momentum for your offense and your young quarterback.
20 yards on Kane's first reception of the night. So they pick up the flag, and Bryant's going to get out of there. Trying to direct traffic. He'll make somebody miss and then get out to midfield. Little spark, 20-yard completion and a quarterback run. And here comes Clemson.
We talked about the double move on the outside. Ray McCloud got hit early, and you just got to stay with it. Kelly Bryant comes off of it. He had an opportunity for a touchdown there to Ray McCloud. just got to have some patience and let it rip.
2nd down and 1. Tavian Feaster is in the backfield for the first time. But Bryant will keep it himself and take another hit. He's pushed back to the 45. Stephen Roberts made the tackle.
And you wonder why those missed opportunities are so big. It's because with a defense as good as Auburn, you're not going to go 10, 12, 15 play drives. You got to get big chunks. And when you miss an opportunity, they make a mistake, you have to capitalize.
So that's patience, you said,
Yeah,
for the young quarterback.
Stick with it. It's experience and
Vision, field vision.
certainly.
3rd and 4. Bryant, quick throw. It's his 3rd down man, Hunter Renfro. And that'll move the sticks. They're across midfield.
Can't say enough about Hunter Renfro. One of my favorite players in college football. Any quarterback would want to have that kind of a player. This is a big-time player in big moments.
On 1st down, see if they go for a chunk play. Another completion. It's to Renfro. We'll see where they mark the forward progress. It's like 11. Trey Matthews put a big stick on him.
He's tough. He's consistent. Catches the football reliably. Thinks like a quarterback at the wide receiver position. Is irreplaceable, really.
5 catches now for Renfro. Here's Bryant. Gets away. And he will throw that one away. With 91 seconds left in the 1st half.
It's great contain. You know Auburn coming into this game, one of their coaching points up front was to contain Kelly Bryant. Don't let him out of the pocket, scramble, and make big plays. And so far, so good in that respect for Auburn's defensive line.
2nd and 10. That's C.J. Fuller to the right of Bryant. 2 receivers top of your screen. Pressure coming up the middle. Bryant got rid of it. Tried to go to Fuller out of the, DJ Greenlee out of the backfield, and it skipped off the turf. Bring up a 3rd down and 10. In case you're wondering, the last time Clemson was shut out in the 1st half, you have to go back to 2010 against NC State. Clemson came back to win that game 14-13.
I think about going back up top to Deion Kane once again. Looks like you're going to get man-to-man coverage.
Here's Bryant over the shoulder. Beautiful throw and catch. Ray McLeod. Concentration. Best ball Bryant's thrown all night.
Oh, this is as good as it gets. What a great angle this will be, coming right into your living room. You want to put it in the breadbasket over the outside shoulder, and you can't walk it out there any better to him. Ray McLeod had no choice but to catch that ball.
There's the chunk you're talking about, a chunk of 29. 1st and goal. It's Renfro. He couldn't stay on his feet, and he's down to the 3. Clemson has all 3 timeouts remaining, and it looks like Dabo wants to spend one here. A drive that started on their own 12 has Clemson knocking at the door. And Dan, thank you. We'll look forward to that. Here's Clemson, 2nd and goal from the Auburn 3. 52 seconds left in the half. Fake the pitch. Bryant will keep it and cross over for the touchdown. Kelly Bryant appears to be just fine.
Two great blocks. Watch Millen Richard, number 80, come around, gets the block, and then there's nothing but toughness and want to at the goal line. Remember the last drive. He came out of the game hurt underneath Dontavius Russell, and the courage to stick his nose in there at the goal line.
Here's Greg Hugel. So all of that, the entire first half, and with a blink of an eye, Clemson has the lead. 7-6 over Auburn. Kelly Bryant leads the way. 12 plays, 88-yard drive, and he'll finish it, take care of business by himself at the end. Whatever shot Kelly Bryant took, maybe it woke him up too. Got him going, got the team going, got the stadium going.
Well, Todd asked at the beginning, what was he going to do when he had some adversity? How was he going to respond? We didn't know if it was going to be an interception or poor play. It turned out it was an injury. Got the wind knocked out of him. Not sure what happened, but his team was looking at him. How was he going to respond? And he went 6 for 9, 7 for 9 on that drive, and then the toughness to finish at the goal line. It's impressive.
Auburn will look to run it out to the 21-yard line. Here's that last drive.
Yeah, and they open it up, start to throw the ball down the field. A long throw to Deion Kane. There's another throw on the outside to Ray McLeod. Perfectly thrown football. And then inside the 5, you're going to need your quarterback to run. Deshaun Watson did this so well for so long. And I'll tell you, his teammates are going to watch that play. They're going to watch that drive. And they're going to see how he responded to determine whether he's a leader I'm going to follow. And so early in this game, Kelly Bryant has responded.
And we've been told the guys already love him.
Yep.
But this could add to that.
Well, that doesn't prove anything until you see it on the field.
43 ticks left. Here's Stidham. And he will slide down. We should point out, they have 1 timeout remaining. And I'm not sure, maybe it would have mattered, maybe not, but they used 2 timeouts on their first drive in the first 5 minutes of the game. On 2nd and 1. Good protection. Stidham will turn the corner and get out of bounds. Stops the clock with 16 ticks left in the half.
I like this approach though here. You're not taking your foot off the gas. You're not going into a shell. In years past, we might see Gus Malzahn just hand the ball off and go in at halftime, but he knows he has a quarterback that can throw with the best of them. And he wants to continue to show confidence in him and see what he can get here right before half. It's got to be smart.
3rd and 2. Petway has the first down with 10 seconds left. And again, they still have that 1 timeout in their pocket.
I think they're going to head in.
Let that get away.
Great defensive first half.
Has to be disheartening, I would think, for Auburn, who dominated. They still trail by 1. Get ready for the halftime report. You're watching college football on ESPN, presented by Hampton by Hilton. And a first half that featured a whole lot of defense. 7-6 Clemson. After a first half really dominated this time possession by Auburn.
Yep, and it didn't look good for Clemson. In the end of that first quarter, their quarterback is on the ground, tried to get up, fell back to the turf, but came back in that next series with a beautifully thrown ball to Ray McLeod and finished it off with that pitch power and a physical run to the end zone to put his team up by 1. You better get ready for some defense in the second half, Levy. It's not all about touchdowns and big passes, right?
I know. Throw it down the field, take a shot. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy. You'll hear from Todd McShay shortly. Would you expect more of the same here in the second half?
These two defenses are too good. That Clemson defense kept them in the game in the first quarter. Auburn had 2 chances to score touchdowns in the red zone. They kept them out and forced field goals. I don't see any difference in the second half.
How about Auburn? Are they disheartened? I mean, they dominated up and down the field. We said the time possession, the plays, and they find themselves losing at the very end of the half.
I don't know. You come on the road defending national champs, right? You got a new quarterback and you're down 1. I don't think they're disheartened. I think they realize they got an opportunity to come in here and steal a win.
And maybe go back-to-back in terms of getting that touchdown late in the first half. They'll get the football to open up the third quarter. Cornell Powell from the goal line will bring it out. Powell takes a big hit up high, and he's dropped at the 22-yard line.
And these first half stats are not going to look pretty for the offenses. Just both teams a little over 100 yards. I mean, that's not what you expect from these two high-powered offenses, but no surprise. The defenses have ruled the roost. Now, the question is, you go in at half. If you're one of these offensive coordinators, if you're Tony Elliott, Jeff Scott, if you're Gus Malzahn, Chip Lindsey, what are the adjustments that you're going to make? I expect to see more balls thrown down the field to try to get big chunk plays in the second half.
Kelly Bryant opens up first down and 10. He'll pitch it out to the right to C.J. Fuller, and he'll find a bit of a crease and pick up 6 on that first play. Jeff Holland had a strong first half, just like everybody else in that Auburn defense.
I mean, it's just tough. It's tough sledding to run the ball against this front four.
On second down and 4. Here's Bryant, a quick throw to Ray McLeod, and he's got first down yardage and a few more.
That's almost like a run play there. Just a little quick slant, quick in to Ray McLeod. We've seen him catch that ball 3 or 4 times.
Gain of 6 on the play. Clemson is known for their great receiving core, and they don't have a senior wide receiver on the roster. How about that?
Because they're so good, they leave early.
Yeah. First down and 10. There's Fuller. Back to the line of scrimmage. Derek Brown made the tackle. We mentioned Todd McShay, and here he is, Todd.
Well, these wide receivers, it's the first thing that jumped out on tape just watching them a week ago. Now, we haven't seen as much of the youngsters, guys like T. Higgins, a freshman from Tennessee, DeAndre Overton, another youngster, Amari Rogers, a freshman as well. But the upperclassmen, Renfro, McLeod, Kane, they're the ones who have stepped up and have just had more opportunities tonight.
4 different receivers have made catches tonight, courtesy of Bryant. Oh, he's going to lock one down the sideline. It's McLeod, and he's pushed out of bounds. Carlton Davis forced them out. Little rhythm here for Clemson to open up the third.
Yeah, we talked about it. Just throw the ball down the field, and against man-to-man coverage, Carlton Davis, one of the better corners in the SEC, just late getting his eyes around. And Ray McLeod, that's the second time in subsequent drives that Kelly Bryant gives him an opportunity to make some pay.
Good for 33. And battle for the football. Deion Kane trying to come up with it. Good physical battle between him and Trey Matthews.
I got a question for Rodgers. Rodgers, now, these quarterbacks just throwing the ball up. Clearly, these are 50-50 balls, right? There's not a lot of pinpoint accuracy there. Do you, as an official, call that different if you know that it's kind of either guy's chance at the ball?
Well, if you know, both have equal rights to the ball,
yeah.
And so if they're just a little hand checking and stuff like that, I mean, you're not going to call that because it's the rule is there's got to be an obvious intent to impede to get to the ball.
Right.
And when you've got them both going like that, there's just not an obvious attempt to try to stop them from getting to the ball.
Yeah. I always wondered that, because if the ball's thrown perfectly and a receiver's running and a DB could hand on a pull, a jersey or something like that, as opposed to 2 guys in the same spot going up for the ball, they shouldn't call those.
No, you want to let them fight it out.
Yeah.
Right.
And they did. Here's Bryant throwing on 3rd and 5. It's who else but Hunter Renfro. First down.
It's a great, accurate throw on the run from Kelly Bryant. See, just rolling out. Great block by C.J. Fuller. That ball has to be on the money. Give credit to Fuller and Kelly Bryant for an accurate throw.
Renfro's 7th catch for 49 yards. That window was closing quickly.
False start on the offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty. Touchdown.
That's Maverick Morris. Was in for Tyrone Crowder. Morris will come out now, and Crowder will replace him. False start. I tell you, I got a godson named Maverick. There aren't many Mavericks first name on the birth certificate around the country. So there's Maverick Morris.
You got another godson named Goose? Or?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Talk to me, Goose. First down and 15 after the marker. And Bryant's going to keep it himself. Spins off the tackle, stays on his feet, and hits the end zone. Touchdown, Kelly Bryant, 2nd of the night.
Take you inside the helmet. Look at his eyes, look at the vision, the cut right there, the patience, and then just like we saw in that touchdown run to end the first half, the power and the speed and the courage to break tackles, get to the end zone. Pretty impressive from number 2.
Here's Hugo on for the extra point and puts it through. 79 yards, 8 plays. Take 3 change off the clock. And this drive ends in a Kelly Bryant 27-yard touchdown run. Quite a different scene back here in Clemson after that last touchdown. All-State is proud to be part of the team that comes together to do good by contributing to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, All-State has contributed millions in scholarship funds. Right, a little different atmosphere here.
Yeah, Dex is dancing. You know, he's happy because he's been on the sideline for quite some time. 2 long scoring drives for their offense.
And Auburn will look to run it out. Out to the 20-yard line. We send it back to Adnan Burke. All right, Adnan, thank you. More great highlights still to come. Hope to have a few more highlights in this one. All right, to Kelly Bryant, he's all fine. He's doing just fine. What say you, Jarrett Stidham? First down and 10. Auburn in need of some offense now. They'll start at their own 20. Stidham rolling to his left, throwing across his body, able to connect with Ryan Davis, and they'll mark him just shy of the first down by a couple inches.
So if I'm Gus Malzahn at halftime, I bring Jarrett Stidham over, go to his locker, say, listen, kid, you got nothing to lose. We're in this game. I brought you in here to throw the football and to bring us back and compete in games like this. Let it all hang out, let it rip.
Here's the tempo. They give it to Petway. He also gets just enough for the first down. Hey, speaking of 80s movies, by the way, Stidham has this habit of watching an 80s movie on the Friday night before a game. Last week it was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Who's your favorite Fast Times character? You have one?
Spicoli.
I like Mr. Hand myself. Last night it was Escape from New York. You remember Snake Plissken? So we'll see what Stidham has to offer here. This was what was so successful in the first half. Cameron Petway, but he sent flying by Ryan Carter.
Yeah, it's successful in the first half because Petway would keep his shoulders down the field. But when he gets lateral, that's what defenses want. If you get him lateral, then he's not quite as athletic, and a great job by Ryan Carter from the corner spot.
Carter got his first career start against Auburn last year. Second down and 6. Maybe Petway will get a breather here. Stidham won't. He's sacked and he fumbles the football. I think that Auburn recovered Prince Tega Wanago, but the heavy pressure from Cleveland Farrell forced the fumble.
Tega Wanogo is a sophomore, and he's starting for the first time, going up against one of the best in the ACC, rushing the passer. You got to know, you got to have a clock in your head. The ball's got to come out after 2 hitches. And Cleveland Farrell not only gets to the quarterback well, but he finishes with the chop to get the football out.
4th Clemson sack of the night. Stidham had a sack, was sacked and fumbled last week in their blowout victory. Stidham's in all sorts of trouble. It's a Malachi crunch. Kendall Joseph and Austin Bryant. Stidham the meat in that sandwich.
One of the biggest issues I have with this offense of Gus Malzahn, when you bring in a quarterback like this to throw the ball, you got to give him options. You can't just run deep routes and then run the ball. You got to have intermediate throws, and that's been the bugaboo for Gus Malzahn's offense. There hasn't been a whole lot of concepts and intermediate passes for the quarterback to have options on 3rd down.
So off back-to-back sacks Clemson's going to get the football with great field position. It's McLeod who's doing everything for those Tigers. And Clemson will start just about at midfield.
This pressure from this Clemson defensive line starting to ramp up. You get a lead, right? You're up by 8, and you're in the second half. You know you're getting to crunch time, and that rush is fierce, and they continue to get after the quarterback. That's why you need some short, quick passing game, intermediate passing game to combat what Brett Venables is going to bring pressure-wise.
And give some credit, too, to the secondary of Clemson. Lose 3 starters from a year ago, have some injuries back there, but they are doing a great job in coverage, allowing time for the pass rush to get to the quarterback.
Here's Bryant trying to stay in that rhythm. That's just too hot for T. Higgins to handle that time.
That's a great point, Todd. I mean, but when you're running the ball down, you're throwing the ball down the field. You got receivers running down the field. It takes a while, right, to throw that ball. Don't you think they need some underneath crossing routes?
I completely agree, but I just know that with 2 injuries tonight in the secondary and then 3 starters from a year ago, this is the area that Brent Venables, the coordinator, was most concerned about. So far, they're hanging on.
2nd and 10 off the incompletion. Bryant is throwing again. It's Powell makes the catch for a gain of 5 on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 5.
And now you put some pressure squarely on the shoulders of this Auburn defense, because they've given up 2 long touchdown drives back-to-back to end the first half and to start the second half. And now they're in plus territory because your offense hasn't been able to get a first down, and they've been on the field quite some time.
See the numbers of Bryant on 3rd down. Tough to be any better than that. Bryant will step and throw. Good battle, and there's the flag. 2 flags, make them 2. Deion Kane, the intended target. And Carlton Davis had the coverage.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 6, 15-yard penalty. Automatic, first down.
Both guys are pushing there. And it looked like Carlton Davis went for the ball. I didn't see a flag there. It's kind of hand fighting. This is what we were talking about, Rogers. We were talking about that 50-50 ball. Both guys have an opportunity to get it, but he gets his arm around him.
But the defender wrapping him around like that is where the flag came from. So that's the obvious intent kind of thing.
So when you say you didn't see a flag, you didn't think a flag should be thrown. You saw the flag. You saw both. 2 flags were thrown.
Yes.
So a check on the vision on 1st down and 10. Here's Fuller. Loose football, it's out. Let's see. Auburn says they have it. Back at the 45. Trey Matthews on the recovery.
Yeah, it was C.J. Fuller who had the football, and
Marlon Davidson got him.
right, Marlon Davidson's unblocked here, and he comes in with that left hand and punches that football out. Well, the pressure was on Auburn defensively. Whether that was a mistake up front by Mitch Hyatt, I don't know, but somebody's got to block number 3. You can't let him free to a ball carrier. These kinds of things happen. And on top of that, C.J. Fuller looks like he's hurt.
So Auburn's defense steps up. They force their 2nd turnover. And now it's up to Jarrett Stidham. We'll see what he can do. Rolling to his right, throwing back the other way, trying to set up the screen. Looking for Jalen Harris, the tight end. Keep in mind, Stidham, for him, this is just his 5th start. We know about some of the starts at Baylor. Had 3 starts. Highly acclaimed quarterback. A lot of things going for him. Had the start last week, but again, a young quarterback, inexperienced, making just his 5th start here tonight. Second and 10. Stidham to throw. Ryan Davis. There's some of the underneath type stuff.
Yeah,
short completion.
I want to see that. I want to see the ball. The ball's got to come out fast. You don't have the offensive line to consistently block Clemson's defensive line. So I know you want to, come off play action and throw deep down the field, but you got to throw some intermediate throws and get it out of his hand. 3rd down. They haven't found Will Hastings much at all in this game. He's not even in the game. He's been probably their most consistent route runner on 3rd down. Where's Kyle Davis? He hasn't caught a ball in a while.
That's Cam Martin in the backfield. 5 to snap it. Pretty close to see if Clemson jumped. And Auburn's unable to complete it. Looked like offside. I think Farrell might have jumped offside.
Yep.
He points to himself. My bad.
Offside on the defense, number 99. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Well, that's a sprinter stance, isn't it? Still brings up a third down, but you bring Cameron Petway back into the equation here on short yardage. And in this game so far, when they've run in short yardage, they've tried to run behind the right side and get the fullback involved.
3rd and 1. Stidham now under center. Still going to give it to Petway. And he has the first down yardage. When we talked to Brent Venables about Petway, his quote was, Petway just wears people out. Now, certainly did in the first half. He's trying to do some of that here in the third quarter.
And we got to give him credit too. He's not playing at 100%. He's been nicked up all camp. Didn't practice much this week at all, and coming out and gutting it out.
He's converted 8 first downs when Auburn needed him the most. That's incomplete. Over the head of Hastings. He's threw a ball in his direction. Bring up a second down.
They tried to run a double move. We mentioned Will Hastings. He run out and up, and he just gets tackled by Tanner Muse. That's a perfect play call right there. It could have been a touchdown, and Tanner Muse was out of position, and you tell him in that situation, just tackle him.
Stidham to his right. And he's just throwing that one away. Bring up a 3rd and 10. Nate Craig Myers was in the neighborhood.
Boy, and these are the situations. It's hard. Gus Malzahn's got that play sheet over there. There's not a whole lot of 3rd and 10 play calls on that sheet.
And one thing they're trying to do is roll the pocket, get him outside the pocket in order to get away from some of that pressure. But when you do that, you restrict him to half the field. They just haven't had many options when they've done it.
Venables is fun to watch. 3rd and 10. Stidham will throw and can't get to the first down marker. Eli Stove, I think he's going to come up about a yard short.
There was some confusion here. The field judge on the bottom of the field was waving like he had stopped the clock.
Before the snap, there was a timeout called by Clemson.
We're going to do that play over when we come back.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by the strikingly designed Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Some things are simply impossible to ignore. And KFC's original recipe fried chicken, it's still finger-licking good.
Can you imagine how good McShay would look on that big screen outside the Esso Club? Wow. The Esso Club, you come to Clemson, you got to stop by. David M. Hale of ESPN.com wrote a nice article about it. They said they poured their first beer there the day Prohibition was repealed. And they've been pouring beer ever since. And your faithful announcers might have partaken on Thursday night here in Clemson. 1 or 2. Part of the tradition. Back for 3rd and 10. Stidham in some traffic, dumps it underneath to Ryan Davis. He's going to come up short of the first down. Any decision here?
I don't think there's any question Gus is going to go for it. You know, we talked about he's calling the plays here. Chip Lindsey on the left, that's Chip Lindsey. He's got the play sheet, but Gus, as you know, full well, very involved in the offensive game planning, and certainly on 3rd, 4th down situations like this, it's his call. And they get this sugar huddle. They come out quick, and normally they have an unbalanced line, and they give it to Petway. And they like to run behind Braden Smith on the right tackle.
Fake it to Petway. Stidham was going to throw, and now he's going to be sacked instead. Drop back at the 50 by Trey Lamar. And they'll turn it over on downs.
Huge fourth down. You get Trey Lamar coming on a blitz right here. They're trying to fake him. Get the ball down the field on a swing route to Chandler Cox. Coming down here, that's where he wants to go with the ball. Just doesn't have the time. The pressure from Brent Venables and this Clemson defense consistently throughout the night has not allowed Stidham the time to throw the ball down the field.
7th sack of the night. And now it's Clemson back to the offense, up by 8. And it's Kelly Bryant on the ground. He'll pick up 3, and they'll pile on as we send it back to Adnan in the studio. All right, Adnan, thank you. Keep us posted. Seems like a lot of defense being played tonight, by the way. See that Ohio State-Oklahoma game. 3-3 at the break there. 14-6 here. Clemson leading Auburn. Deion Kane on the receiving end there. Tomorrow night, Sunday Night Baseball. It's the Orioles and the hottest team in the major leagues, the Indians. They won their 17th consecutive game tonight. The record is set by the Oakland A's under their general manager, Brad Pitt. They won 20 games in a row at one point.
Brad Pitt, really?
You saw Moneyball, didn't you? Billy Bean. You get the idea. But how about the Indians being so hot? The Dodgers are amazingly cold after one of the great halves of the season in history. Getting to be a good time of year in Major League Baseball. Always a good time of the year in college football. We cherish these college football Saturdays, especially in a setting such as this one.
It's the last one of these rivalry games we're going to see for a while. This goes off the schedule for the next 3 or 4 years.
They played 5 times dating back to 2010. Here's Hunter Renfrow. Dropped by Deshaun Davis. Almost seemed like these guys were in conference. They've been playing each other so often.
Another sudden change, turnover. You don't get it on 4th down because you go for it and you put your defense in a tough position. And again, Auburn stands up, brings up a 3rd and 11 situation here. You need some pass rush from Coe on the outside and Holland.
3rd and 12. Bryant saw some running room. There is a flag down. Bryant still can't get to the marker. He's about a yard short. We'll see if this is a holding penalty, going to bring it back.
Holding on the offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
It is, in fact, coming back. That's Mitch Hyatt, one of the stars of that offensive line.
On this offensive line, it started to do a better job the last couple drives of protecting the quarterback, but there Hyatt struggles a little bit in terms of his lateral agility. Just wasn't in position and had to hold a little bit.
After all this is still a 1-score game. You know, I mean, Auburn, I know they haven't had a whole lot going for the last 2 quarters, but they get a stop here, get the ball back, and get something going. Be right back in this game.
3rd and 22. Feaster, bottom of your screen. Throw across the middle. Looking for Renfrow on 3rd down, of course. Excellent coverage by Jeremiah Dinson to knock it away. And to bring up a 4th down. Dinson is one of those Florida kids. Auburn has about 12 different players on their 2 deep from the state of Florida. And of course, our thoughts are with all those people who are, if not already, dealing with Hurricane Irma that will be.
Yeah, throughout the state of Florida, obviously, but throughout the Southeast and the Southeastern Conference, both these schools in their hometowns in the path. Think about everybody.
Will Spires will kick it away from the 40. And that will bounce into the end zone. 2:53 to go here in the third. Still that one-score game. Clemson up. We mentioned Hurricane Irma and what's going on in the state of Florida. That's Cam Martin from Port Arthur, Texas. Not to forget about Hurricane Harvey. Cam will never forget that. That Port Arthur area is one of the many areas engulfed by the hurricane. His aunt was one of the reported up to 70 deaths related to the hurricane. She was on dialysis from a pre-existing condition and couldn't be transferred. He lost the ability to contact his parents, but they did travel safely. Got to the game last week. He had a career high 136 yards and a score. We're thinking about everyone impacted by Harvey and Irma, and who will still be impacted probably to the middle of next week and maybe beyond.
Well, it's scary. We got it going in Houston. Now it's going to be Florida. It's going to have some certain devastation and storm surge and flood. And then you got Jose, the next one coming right by. It's really scary.
You lived that life in South Florida growing up. You've seen your share.
Went through Hurricane Andrew in '92.
Second down and 4. Stidham. Long throw down the middle of the field. Looking for Eli Stove. Excellent double coverage for Clemson from Mark Fields and Wallace. Some of the games impacted college football. That's canceled, as in canceled. Those games will not be made up. Of course, they moved a couple football games over to Birmingham, Alabama.
And the big one next week at risk is that Miami-Florida State game in the ACC. I just don't know how Miami's going to get back to practice next week.
Third down and 4. Stidham wanted to get rid of it. Somehow gets out of there, and then he is tripped up. Excellent pursuit by Kayvon Wallace.
You see the combination of pass rush with Cleveland Farrell and Watkins. Both had a chance at Jarrett Stidham coming from your left side. Great spin move. I don't know how he gets out of that, but then watch Kayvon Wallace. That's the recruiting, right? That's the talent on this Clemson defense. They lose a lot up front, but they replace them. They've gotten to that point now with Dabo Swinney that they can replace Brent Venables as they lose good players.
Hunter Renfrow will take a crack at returning this punt. A fair catch and then run up. They did not give him a lot of room to catch that punt out of the 45.
Let's take a look at the all hands. Let's take a look at tonight's All-State All Hands in Play. Wide receiver university for Clemson. Dabo Swinney, former receiver coach. You see the list of great receivers he's had. DeAndre Hopkins, Sammy Watkins, Mike Williams, all first-round picks. Martavius Bryant, fourth-round pick. He's had great success the Steelers, and he told us, guys, 9 receivers right now that are playing. He believes all will play in the NFL one day.
That's quite a statement. Imagine that 9 receivers on one team that all play on Sundays. On first down and 10. Short gain there.
We see a couple of those receivers in the game now. We've got true freshman Amari Rogers, number 3. DeAndre Overton, he's a sophomore. Travion Thompson, number 1.
I'd put 16 in if I was the co-offensive coordinator. Maybe 10 receivers will play in the NFL. That's Will Swinney. That's Dabo's kid, 16 in the orange. Second down and 8. And there is Amari Rogers. He's stopped by Javaris Davis. Let's do the Amari Rogers story. Get that out of the way, just so there's
get this right, will you?
just so there's no confusion, because we'll be the first to confuse it. So you see Amari Rogers there. That is T. Martin's son.
Okay.
Obviously well known in football circles. Number 5 is a wide receiver and also a 5-star recruit. That's T. Higgins.
Okay.
No relation. He's just named after T. Martin.
Oh.
His mom was a huge T. Martin fan. You get that?
I got that. They did a good job getting that straight.
People doubted me on that. How dare they? 30 seconds left, third quarter. Clemson up 8. And some confusion on that play. Rogers was sort of there. Carlton Davis had the cover.
It's interesting because, Amari Rogers, he had a slant route. He had one-on-one on Carlton Davis, and he showed his freshman inexperience. Didn't take enough time, didn't leave enough space. And it's a big difference when you put a freshman out there on Carlton Davis than you put Deion Kane out there. And I know that Dabo Swinney wants to play a lot of guys, but you do sacrifice the experience, and that big third down there cost him.
They expect big things out of Rodgers and Higgins, but some of the inexperience on display. Stephen Roberts, the fair catch at the 12. We send it back to Adnan in the studio. All right, Adnan, thank you. Adnan putting in another half day today in the college football studio. It's a long day, the college football. Guy only works one day a week, though, so.
Yeah.
No, I guess he's on Thursdays and Fridays. Got to sleep sometime, and Saturday.
You know, now that you're not in the studio, you're just putting all those studio guys under the bus, huh?
Life on the road. 15 ticks left here in the quarter. See if Auburn could do something with the football. A little momentum back to start the fourth. Not much there. Farrell and Huggins come up to stop Betway. That's going to do it for quarter number 3. This whole game changed in that second quarter when Kelly Bryant went out with an apparent injury. He came back, roaring back. Pretty much been all Clemson since then. You're watching college football on ESPN, presented by Hampton by Hilton. Nobody's lighting up the scoreboard tonight, not yet anyway, but they are lighting up Death Valley, and you're watching the ACC right here on ESPN. Jarrett Stidham. Amazing. Seemingly nothing has gone right for them since the first quarter, and yet they're still in a one-score game. Stidham comes out throwing. The underneath to Will Hastings for a short gain of 2.
A lot of that has to do with that Clemson defense. They've pressured Jarrett Stidham consistently. 7 sacks on the night so far, and 3 more tackles for loss on top of that. It's going to be Jarrett Stidham's arm if they get back in this football game. They can't just turn around and hand it to Petway. They've got to make some plays in the passing game. Kyle Davis, back from suspension, thought he was going to have a big impact in the game. He's had 0 catches.
3rd and 7. Stidham under pressure, rolling out of there, in big trouble, and he'll just run out of bounds and eat a big loss. J.D. Davis forced him out. Think about this. Auburn had 89 yards in the first quarter. Since then, they have 25 on 29 plays.
And that's, it's just pressure. That defense continues to apply pressure. They apply pressure to the backs, to the tight ends, everybody. There's nowhere to go. That's the now 8th sack of the night for Clemson defensively.
Ray McLeod is almost standing on the plus side of the field. Shannon gets it away. McLeod, you're going the wrong way. How do they know which way we're going? Pro football gets back at it. The NFL get a full slate tomorrow, and then it's what we do best. Monday Night Football back on ESPN. It's the annual season opening kickoff doubleheader. Coverage starts 6:55 with the Saints and the Vikings. Hello, Adrian Peterson. Then the nightcap, it's the Chargers and the Broncos. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown. Susie and the gang at 5 p.m. Eastern and streaming live on the ESPN app. You take your phone with you everywhere you go. Take the ESPN app with you as well. You won't miss a thing. Big stick there on Adam Choice. Jamel Dean got to him in a loud way.
You get the sense that Kevin Steele is telling his defense on the sideline, we need a turnover. We got to get some kind of momentum. Holland tees off on Bryant, and then Jamel Dean comes up. They're going to start stripping that football. They've got to get some kind of a momentum changer. You see Kevin Steele there, the longtime defensive coordinator.
38 years, he's been everywhere and seen everything. Here's Bryant on the run. He's able to turn the corner. Oh, and cuts inside to get an extra yard and took a pretty decent size hit from Carlton Davis.
It's good to see there the decision making to take a shot and drop back and pass. And at this point, you're still only up one score, even though Clemson has dominated this half and the last drive of the second quarter. But you've got to continue to run the offense. And really what's worked best is when Bryant is back throwing the fade route, throwing into the slot, and also taking off and running when things aren't open down the field.
Those numbers told me is Bryant's just fine. He's running with authority. And for first downs. And leading with his shoulders and helmet. And we were worried about Bryant when he was down. He was motionless. I was DeAndre Francois-ing him for a second. And he appears to be as if it never happened.
Yeah, no, sometimes you just need to get that hit, and then come back and he got some rhythm. Well, the biggest difference between him and Deshaun Watson is this, his legs.
Bryant skips through, another first down. He's so effortless when he runs, he glides.
Well, while Deshaun was certainly a good runner, but he wasn't a great designed runner. He was great extending plays. We were talking with Tony Elliott last night, and he said, this kid has an ability to run these designed runs, and when he gets to the second level, that afterburner speed.
On 1st and 10. And they'll just throw that one away. You know the advice that Deshaun Watson gave to Kelly Bryant? It was very simple. It was 3 words. He told him, you do you.
Yep.
Bryant's doing exactly that tonight.
Well, he made one mistake there. He threw that ball out of bounds, and that's going to be a intentional grounding. And
that's Deshaun Davis down. One of the mainstays of that Auburn defense. While he's being attended to, we'll sort it out when we come back. As always, these are subject to change. Let's take a look at tonight's college football rankings as of this second, brought to you by Capital One.
Yeah, Penn State takes care of business at Pitt, that rivalry game there. And then that USC game, it's going to be a close game with Stanford. Michigan didn't look great in that first half against Cincinnati. I wonder, they've got some decisions to make potentially on offense and at the quarterback position.
There's Feaster, the ball carrier for Clemson. There is a warm and fuzzy feeling, if you will, here inside Memorial Stadium at Clemson. Wasn't like this in the first quarter. Not until really last minute of the first half.
You get the feeling if we're able to get this first down here, 3rd and 10, they could really put a nail in the coffin.
Here's Bryant. Sees a lane open up, and the speed kicks in. Not fast enough that time to get away from Carlton Davis, the best of the defensive backs for Auburn.
There should be no decision here for Dabo Swinney. You got to punt this football. The way your defense is playing, don't give them a short field in the least.
Looks like he's thinking.
Play to your strengths, and the strengths of Clemson the last 2 years have been their offense. There's no question about it, but it's pretty clear to me tonight that the strength of this team is their defense, and you got to protect them.
Would be about a 50-yard field goal.
Yeah, I don't think he's thinking about that with the way that Hugo looked on that first attempt in the first half.
Sure that wasn't blocked, right? Just trying to give the kid a break.
Delay a game.
He's going to punt it.
Yeah.
Delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Which play is the punt play? There. Three Stooges. That's not nice to call you, me, and McShay that. That's not very nice, people. I take offense to that.
You've always wanted to have your face on one of those play cards, haven't you?
Not like that. Which Stooge am I? No comment, people. Don't at me on Twitter either. At Greasy. He's still not verified. 4th and 14. They got a punt. Stephen Roberts is standing at his 10. Will Spires will get it away. And the punt is effective because Auburn will take over at the 14 after the 25-yard punt. Again, effective. You know the tradition at Clemson, we mentioned a couple of them. The Essler Club, the Smoking Pig, and then we took a shot, at least I took a shot at running down the hill. You guys set me up, man. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I touched the goalpost. You couldn't see it, but I got up high enough to touch the goalpost there.
Oh, we were all supposed to go together.
Yeah.
Boy, what an easy target, Greasy.
Yeah. You set me up.
You had to come all the way back up. You barely had any breath left.
Locker room hijinks. Like being back in college. Petway. Nothing doing there. Yeah, watch. Let's slow down Greasy. What move is that?
That's the back scratcher.
You weren't coming close to your back, okay? That was like a calf scratcher.
Oh, man. That's steep over there. You know what? We asked Dabo for some advice running down the hill. He said, that is steep.
Somebody falls every season. Somebody takes a tumble. Was not one of the three of us.
McShay knows
Because we went down 1 mile an hour.
2nd and 9. Stidham to throw off the play fake. And it's Kyle Davis making the grab. His first catch of the night. You've been calling for that.
First catch for Kyle Davis. They have got to get him involved in this offense. Haven't been able to run it. Petway has gone quiet because it's tough running between the tackles. You got to get some playmakers on the outside. Kyle Davis, we haven't seen Darius Slayton. He's been injured from a week ago. Craig Myers needs to get involved.
3rd and 2. Stidham rolling to his right and throwing on the run for the first down. It's Ryan Davis, and here's Adnan Burke. You caught that, huh? You picked that right up. Stidham 13 of 22 for 79 yards. He's going to need some more. It's Petway on the ground, lowers the shoulder. Our excellent ESPN audio allows you to hear the crash from the field.
Yeah, see if you can hear that again. There's been a lot of big hits, physical, in this game. He just doesn't go down. He does not go down when you hit him high. Trainer Muse took a shot. He'll take an ice bath tomorrow.
2nd down and 7. Petway for 74 yards on the ground, 22 carries. Stidham has good protection this time. And now he'll just throw it away. Darius Slayton was sort of there. At
some point, Jarrett Stidham's going to have to sit in the pocket and take his shot down the field. This time, he had Sal Cannella right in the middle of the field. You got to step up and then let that thing fly. You got to give him a chance.
Is this the same hesitation you saw a week ago out of Stidham?
I mean, it's a much better defense. It's apples and oranges, you know, and he's in a bunker right now. Probably can't see the field real well, but to win this game, you're going to have to throw it down the field.
3rd and 7. In all sorts of trouble. And he'll sail that one into the Clemson bench. Bring up a 4th down.
Auburn has not been able to make the adjustment. They haven't been able to protect. You know, we knew coming into this game it was going to be a hard job trying to protect this defensive line. They try to move him. They try to keep him in the pocket. Try to throw quicker throws. None of it's worked.
Clemson has 8 sacks tonight. That's their most since 2004 against Utah State, and it kind of served as the same kind of thing. Ray McLeod is back deep. He'll call for the fair catch and let it bounce. 7.5 to play here in the 4th. Clemson will look to bleed some clock. Look at the rock.
ESPN College Football is presented by Hampton by Hilton, Book a room today and follow your team all the way. And in part by Mitsubishi Motors, a century of innovation.
See the QB comparison tonight. Jarrett Stidham had a lot of pressure on his shoulders coming in. Hasn't been a pretty night for him, sacked 8 times. And for Kelly Bryant, he started slow. Got knocked around a little bit, but he has responded in big fashion.
First down and 10, it's Adam Choice, the first man through. He'll pick up 4. More great tennis for the U.S. Open Men's Championship. Rafael Nadal against Kevin Anderson. That's tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app. I saw a picture of the two of them. They must have played a match against each other when they were 12 years old. Something like that. So that was kind of neat to see it. It'll be fun to watch tomorrow with Chris Fowler on the call.
You know, it's been dominated by Clemson in the second half. There's no question about it. But this Auburn defense keeps responding, and they're keeping them in the game. Auburn, for all of the problems they've had on the offensive side of the ball, they're still 1 score away. Having lived through that Michigan State game, the last punt of the game where they botched it. There's so many different things that could happen. A pick 6, a turnover, that could give Auburn an opportunity to get right back in this game with 1 play.
That's a great point.
Especially against an inexperienced quarterback. A sack, fumble return, anything.
The Auburn defense keeping them in the game. Do they have another stop in them here? They do.
Boy, that was close there. Jamel Dean had an opportunity to step in front of that intended pass. That's exactly what Todd was talking about. If he keeps his feet, gets in front of the tight end there, he can catch that ball and run for the end zone.
That's Milan Richard, the intended target, the nephew of Herschel Walker. Couldn't come up with the grab. 4th consecutive punt upcoming now for this Clemson offense. So you want to give credit to Auburn. I don't know if Clemson's gotten conservative. Trying to run this out with the lead. Roberts is back. Will play it on a bounce at his own 20. Has some running room. And all the way up to the 44-yard line. That was nearly the play they needed. Ryan Carter got just enough to upend him. But still, Auburn will take over. Down a score. Excellent field position off the 24-yard return. The ESPN app is a fan's best friend. Stream live games, shows, highlights, and podcasts. Get access to live scores and news from anywhere. Download the ESPN app now. It's easy to get. I can do it. That means you can do it too. I've got it. I love it. And I'll be watching while we're sitting in traffic trying to leave this game. On first down and 10, Eli Stove. Cross midfield.
I think Auburn is going to start getting a little bit of tempo. You see their last 4 drives, absolutely nothing. And Gus Malzahn's changing tempo here, running the ball on the perimeter.
Stidham will step up, has some running room in front of him. He'll lower the shoulder and should have enough for the first down. And keep in mind that Clemson took less than 90 seconds off the clock on that last possession. Had a chance to milk some clock.
As bad as it's been for Auburn offensively, we keep saying this, it's a 1-score game. They got the ball at the 45-yard line, first down. You got everything you wanted right here in front of you.
And all 3 timeouts. Cam Martin to the left of Stidham now. Good protection. And he is dropped what will go as a sack for Christian Wilkins. That's the 9th sack of the night, adding to the recent record.
Yeah, people down think watching at home that's, throw the ball down the field. That was actually a screen, and it was covered up by Cleveland Farrell really well. Nowhere to go with that ball. You can't throw it downfield because you got linemen downfield.
2nd and 13.
Man-to-man.
It's Hastings in motion, Tropia screen. Trying to stay in there. Oh, he stayed in there and he stayed down. Dorian O'Daniel comes up with a sack. Make it 10.
This is traditional Brent Venables. Just blitz the back. You're going to see two guys coming. They both come, one and then the other. Once Petway picks up the first, that allows Dorian O'Daniel to green dog right into the lap of the quarterback. That's vintage Brent Venables. Brings up the 9th sack of the night.
School record is 12 if you're scoring at home. There's 4 minutes left in the ball game. 3rd and 20. Stidham, he's patient anyway. Now he'll try to get out of there, and he is tripped up by Austin Bryant. Number 10 on the night. We're in double digits in sacks now, inching closer to that 12.
At some point, if you're Gus Malzahn, you got to give him some options. Those guys are just running down the field. They're 3 guys in the route, and they're double covered. And I don't care if you're Tom Brady, you can't throw the ball in that situation.
Yeah, shorted them one. It's 11 sacks, 3 successive sacks. Ray McLeod back of the 15, and he'll run out of bounds. 3:15 to go here in the 4th. Clemson will try to use some clock. They weren't very effective in it last time. A couple of first downs could be the difference. They're all over Jarrett Stidham tonight. Clemson up a score with the football. Auburn has all 3 timeouts remaining, and the clock down to 3:15. And as you would expect, on the ground to Adam Choice, who has become a featured runner here. And there is timeout number 1. Choice tore his ACL back in October of 2014. There was some talk that he would start over Wayne Gallman. Of course, Gallman went on to have a great career here. It's bad timing on the injury by Choice. And again, Gallman just being outstanding. Now in the New York Giants.
Yeah, they got a bunch of backs. I mean, you've got C.J. Fuller. He got a little tweaked earlier in the game. Tavian Feaster, and then their freshmen. They're really excited about out of Louisiana. Travis Etienne had a big game last week. Clemson, I think they found out that they're pretty good on defense. And this team, this 2017 version of the Clemson Tigers is going to be driven and led by this attacking style of defense with their All-Americans up front. They found out something about their secondary tonight, too, I think. They had 3 guys out, replacing Cordrea Tankersley, replacing Jadar Johnson, and guys like Traven McMullen, Tanner Muse, Denzel Johnson, those guys, Kayvon Wallace in the secondary, they have limited Jarrett Stidham in that passing game to 79 yards on the night.
One of your old coaches, John Gruden, always says when you have the lead, 4th quarter pass rush is so important to putting a game away. And we've seen it really in the 4th quarter. We saw it in the 3rd quarter, some in the 2nd quarter for Clemson. They've got 11 sacks. I told you the record was 12. That was back in 1996 against Furman. Furman's 1AA. This will be, I would think, embarrassing to Auburn to allow 11 sacks tonight so far.
Well, I think Auburn knew coming in that they were overmatched up front on the offensive line. I've been a little bit surprised, honestly, that Gus Malzahn and Chip Lindsey haven't made the kind of adjustments to get the ball out of Stidham's hands quicker. I think, Auburn's finding out something about their team tonight. No matter what happens here in the last 3 minutes of this game, I think they've found out their defense is the strength of their team, and offensively they have a long way to go. They're trying to marry that Gus Malzahn power run game in an up-tempo with Chip Lindsey, who wants to throw it a little bit more, and so far the results in this game have been terrible.
But old Chip and Gus, they're going to have another crack at this thing.
Yeah.
They come up with a defensive stop here. It's 3rd and 9. Auburn can still stop the clock one more time. Got the potential for getting the football back in good field position.
I honestly think Clemson could punt right now and still win the game. I mean, that's the way it's gone.
Well, we haven't seen any indication that Auburn's offense will be able to do something, but maybe it's a punt return. Let's see on 3rd and 9. Here's Bryant. He's going to throw the football on 3rd and 9. Incomplete for the first down. And that's a huge play, and Dabo knows it. And who else is on the receiving end of a huge play for Clemson? It's Hunter Renfrow.
Well, if it's the 4th quarter and it's 3rd down, it's a pressure situation, why would you throw it to anybody else in number 13 in orange? That's all he does is make big plays. And once again, Tippy toe on the sideline. It's a great job extending the play by Kelly Bryant. I think you found out about him a little bit tonight, his toughness.
9 catches. 62 yards for Renfro. And now it's a different story. 2.5 to play. Just 1 timeout for Auburn and a fresh set of downs for Clemson. It's Feaster, the ball carrier.
Yep, 1 more first down and this game's over.
Gus will take the timeout. We'll take it with him. 14-6, national champs. Week 1 got underway. Bit of a surprise in the NFL on Thursday night. Not to me, but to a lot of people it was a surprise. Tomorrow it all starts for us. Sunday we got a new time, new team. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern. Rex, Charles, Matt, Randy, Mort, Shefty, and go get him, Sam. Filling those big shoes of Chris Berman. They'll all have the early breaking stories, injury updates, and preview each game right up to kick. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. Looking forward to that. A huge cast of characters, and I do mean characters.
It's the game right here. Next 2 plays, first down, ices it.
Bryant will keep it on the ground and turn the corner. Take a hip to the head, and he's dropped to the 40-yard line.
It's another learning experience for the young Kelly Bryant. How to manage this situation. Get down, stay in bounds, protect the football, take all the time off the clock, make sure everybody knows exactly what they're doing on the offensive side, and get out of here with a win. Dabo Swinney knows that it's been a hard-fought game. There's been a lot of hitting in this football game, but Kelly Bryant's grown tonight.
Since 2015, Clemson is an FBS 17-0 in games played before November. And Clemson's next game, they'll travel to Louisville. Interesting test there.
Yep.
Clemson will spend one of their timeouts. Up next for Auburn, they'll be at home against Mercer. So Auburn had 2 field goals in their first 3 possessions. Remember that way back when? 6-0 lead, things were looking good. Since then, 9 scoreless possessions. War Eagle.
And this was a big hurdle for Clemson. Obviously, the second week of the season with a new quarterback. But you look at their schedule, they get a huge game. Papa John Stadium next week. Pretty explosive day today from the Heisman Trophy winner, Lamar Jackson, from last year. But then after that game, a tricky one at Va Tech. That'll be an interesting game at the end of September. And then you see they get a little bit of a break. That Florida State game at home, but a sneaky one just before that Florida State game. Keep an eye on that one.
Why can't Lamar Jackson win the Heisman again?
Why can't he?
No, it wasn't a rhetorical question. It was a real question. Well, he seems to be discounting. Everybody seems to be discounting him. There are so many other great candidates.
Don't listen to everybody.
Just you? Just you?
Just listen to me.
McShay?
You'll be fine.
Can I listen to McShay too? Just you?
Maybe. Sometimes.
3rd down and 2. Clemson will try to seal the deal here. And as you would expect, it's Bryant on the ground. Has the first. Should have the game. Trey Matthews had him around the ankles, but by the time he got to him, it was already a first down for Clemson.
Well, maybe the thing I'm going to take away most from this performance from Kelly Bryant, we came into the game talking about how fast he was. 4.4 speed. But I have seen time and time again in a physical game against the top-flight SEC defense, he run with power. 6'4", 220 pounds of power. That has been impressive to me.
And he wants to show people he can do more than run the football. He wants to show people he can throw from the pocket. 181 yards passing, 59 yards rushing, and his players come together, flags fly. And that'll stop the clock with 55 seconds left.
Well, he's got to learn one other thing. If you're gonna take a step back before you kneel down, that is telling that defense they can come after you, and that's exactly what happened. If you don't go straight down, he's going to come hit you. Darrell Williams came off the edge and hit him.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 49. That's his first of the game. Clemson will decline the 10-second runoff. The clock will start on my ready.
It's just not worth it, right? You take 2-0 and the game's over. Don't do that. Like that's just inviting. That's a penalty, but that's just inviting somebody to come hit you.
Darrell Williams took that opportunity. Clemson on their way to winning a 4th straight meeting against Auburn. They won 19-13 last year. Another one-score game. Came down to an attempt at a Hail Mary that was knocked away.
Yep, and back-to-back games where the Auburn offense has not been able to produce against the Clemson defense.
Yeah, I thought they would accept the 10-second runoff. That makes a lot of sense. They'll bring it down to 45. In that game last year, Auburn snapped the football to 5 different players.
Yeah, they had 3 different quarterbacks.
Yeah, they were so unsettled.
John Franklin the third, and Jeremy Johnson, and they're going to have to find some answers before they get in the heart of that SEC schedule. They thought they could compete in the SEC West, but they're not going to compete in the SEC West with this kind of an offensive performance.
Auburn with 117 total yards. And they're not going to face this kind of defense, obviously, on a regular basis either.
Except for Alabama.
Yes.
LSU, maybe?
Those couple of games, those few schools. It was a slugfest, a defensive battle. You might not see 2 finer fronts on the defensive side anywhere else in the country as the fans spill onto the field here at Memorial Stadium. Let's find Todd McShay. He's in their mix with Dabo Swinney.
Coach, you knew your defense is the veteran group coming back, but is this even surprising to you how dominant your defense was against this good Auburn offense?
Well, that's just how we practice every day, you know. Our coaches do a great job. Our guys take a lot of pride. We played a little conservative down the stretch because they were playing so well. And just hats off, you know, gritty win tonight for our team. It wasn't perfect, but we can build on it. You know, this is the type of game that you need early in the season to grow your team. And so we'll get better from it. Heck of a victory. Hey, give Auburn a lot of credit. They're going to be a heck of a team too. But, hey, we're glad to be 2-0.
You told us that you were interested in seeing how your quarterback, Kelly Bryant, handled adversity. What'd you think?
What'd you think?
That was pretty darn good. Pretty dang good. Thanks, Coach.
Dabo returning fire at McShay. He answered the question with the question. Top 15 showdown tonight goes to Clemson. Their Tigers were better than Auburn's Tigers by a score of 14-6. In front of one of the great atmospheres in all of college football here in Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina. For Todd McShay and Brian Griese, I'm Steve Levy. College football scoreboard is next. Good night, everybody.